In today's video, we'll see how to pre-cache your Joomla pages so they're sitting ready to be delivered quickly, even to the first person looking for them. Hey there, Joomla fans. Tim Davis here. I'm a Joomla fan too, and thanks for tuning in to Maintenance Monday number 88 here on the Basic Joomla Tutorials YouTube channel. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching live, please say hi in the chat. That way I know everything's working as well and you can hear me. And if you're watching on replay, hey, if you find these videos helpful, please subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. So why would you want to pre-cache your Joomla pages? Well, we cache Joomla pages because it cuts out a lot of the steps that it takes to prepare one. If someone goes to call up one of yours, let's say your home page, it grabs the template, it's going to fill in modules and content, it's going to look in the database and do a bunch of steps. And servers are pretty fast these days, so that's not that big an issue. But what if you had a static page just waiting to be served up to the people that were going to view it? It would be even that much faster. Now, you know how a cache works, and we've talked about this before. Hey, Chuck, let's say every time a page is being called, it's got a couple of things put together. So let's the page be here. We got my Joomla mug, and then I have to take the remote for my studio lights. Here's the case for my glasses. And also I have this empty pen that I can still use for a pointer on devices. And there you go, you ask for it and it gets delivered to you. Now, if you're not caching things, the next time that happens, the next person that comes along and wants the page, again, the mug gets picked up, or do we put in the remote next, and then we put in the glasses case, and then we put in the pointer, and there it is. Now, that took a lot of time. But if you cache a page, basically you save a copy of it looking just like this. So the next time a person comes to get the page, you just go, oh, there it is. See how much faster that was? Now the way caching works is that if there is no actively cached page, the first person to call for the page means you have to go through all those steps and it takes time. But by pre-caching pages, even before someone calls for a page, you can have it all ready, everything in place to be served up, just sitting there, every page on your site. And that's what we're going to look at today, how to pre-cache all of your Joomla pages using Recache. So let's turn our attention over to the screen here. Here we are on the basicjoomla.com site. Go to /giveaways, enter this month's contest, win some great Joomla stuff. All the prizes are listed there. And that will be great. So Recache is a file that comes with JotCache from JotComponents. Last week, was Maintenance Monday 87, we looked at how to set up a cron job to empty the expired cache pages from the database in your site. And so today's instructions will be a little bit similar to installing what we did last week. But just so this is a standalone video, let's do that anyways. So first of all, you want to install JotCache on your site. Head on over to JotComponents.net. We saw last week that the install from web tab, for some reason you can't do that with JotCache here. So you have to go to the site and download it. When you get to JotComponents.net, it's a little bit tricky. Go to download and then actual versions in the menu on the left hand side. And then go down to JotCache, in this case right now 6.2, and go to view files, and then go to download, and you can download the latest one, 6.2.1. So I'm going to click on there to download it, and I'm going to download it to my delete folder that I have on my computer. I download things to a delete folder because then I only put in there things that I want to delete. All right. So I don't even have to check what's in that folder. I can empty it whenever I want. Next, we go into the back end of your Joomla site, and I am not there yet, so let's just put that in there now. And we'll log in, and many of you know all of this, and some of you, if you're very new to Joomla, here's how to install an extension. Go to Extensions, Manage, and Install. So let's see, we're going to upload a package file, and I'll browse to my computer for it. I'm going to go up to my deleted folder, and here it is at the top, package JotCache 6.2.1. we'll install that. Now with JotCache, we have some other. I have some other videos, especially there's a Watch Me Work live stream collab on JotCache. So check that on the channel, how to set up JotCache. But now that we have that installed, what we want to do, in order to set up this Recache file, to precache our Joomla files, we want to go into the web hosting account for the basic Joomla site. So here we are, it's a cPanel, and I'm going to go to File Manager. Now the next thing that you want to do is find the cron_recache.php file, and I'll tell you where it is. You go to the folder where your Joomla site is installed, go to Administrator, Components, scroll down until you see com_JotCache, and then you will see this folder here, cron. Now if we take a quick look in there, you'll see there's cron.php and cron_recache.php. Cron.php is what we set up last week, and today we want to set up cron_recache.php. Now, the instructions for cron.php and cron_recache.php, which you can see by right-clicking and editing inside, say to move these outside of your public folder, or outside of a folder that's publicly accessible. And like I said last week, not sure why, but there's no problem to do it. So let's do that now. I'm going to go up one level, and here's cron. And I'm going to right-click, and I'm going to copy this to outside of the public HTML folder. So I'm going to select this whole path here, and what will happen is that this cron folder will now exist as a copy inside home / and it's going to be cron. But cron is going to be kind of an obscure folder to just have floating around there in that root. So I'm going to give it a special name, and the special name that I'm going to give it is this, just so it's identifiable. I'm going to name it, I'm going to copy that cron. Actually, you know what? Let's just copy that cron. Sorry, I'm a step ahead of myself. We'll copy that. Now when we go to the home folder, we'll see cron here, right there. But we don't want that folder left named as cron because it gets confusing. You might think, hey, what is that doing there? That's where we're going to rename that, and I'll call it JotCache Cron Main. Now, JotCache Cron, because that identifies to me when I look in that list, oh, that's what that folder is for, I'll just leave it alone. But also I put main on there because I have a number of Joomla installs in this web hosting account, and so I want to know that this is the JotCache Cron folder for my main account, the one that's in public. I could rename this basic Joomla or something else, but anyways, you name the folder whatever makes sense to you so that you're not going to monkey around with it or accidentally delete it. Alright, so we hit enter there, and now I just have to remember what I named it. Here we go. There's JotCache Cron Main. I'm going to go into that folder, and now we see, again, here's the files that we just copied. I'm going to right click on cron_recache, and I'm going to select edit. Now there's two things that we need to change in cron_recache. In the cron one that we did last week, there's one, but there's two things. As we scroll down to around, let's see what line it is here, I could have noted that, 44, we want to define the JPath base. Now JPath base is the path in your hosting account to where your Joomla site is installed. And we saw last week for this basic Joomla one that it was /home. I have it here to copy and paste in there. It was /home. Make that a bit bigger. /home /basic Jew, which is the 8-character account name for this hosting account, and then it was in the folder public_HTML. If I make this back to the normal size, let's go back to the file manager and I'll show you a little trick. If you want to find out where what your JHost path is, do this. go to the folder that your Joomla site is installed in. So in this case, we know it's home / basic Jew, and I have it in public HTML. Now, go to your configuration file, configuration.php, right click, and just go view. And then, no, it's not view, right click and go edit. And then you will see up in editing, in this field up here, it shows you home basic Jew public HTML / and then the file name. Your JPath is everything before the file name. All right. Okay, so let's just close that tab there. And we'll go back to where we're editing that. And that's why I picked, so that's why I know for my JPath base, it's / home / basic Jew / public HTML. Now, the second thing that you need to change to set up Recache to be precaching your, to be ready to precache your site, of course, we have to set up a cron job to run this, is the the depth. And you'll see right here, JotCache plugin states, let me make that bigger for you. And that is depth, okay? The depth is the number of menu levels that you want Recache to cache the pages for. So when we look at the home page for basic Joomla, right now I only have top level top-level menu items. If I were to go to another site of mine, cybersalt.org, let's go to there, we would see that in my I have menus here where there's entertainment and then cartoons and then back pew, or entertainment, cartoons, clean jokes, Christmas jokes, and Thanksgiving jokes. So I actually have top level, a second level, and a third level. So if I want all the pages cached down to the third level of the menu structure for, what are those called? Categories, perhaps, then that's, I would set 3. For now, if we go back here, I have this set to 2. So that's all that I really need to do now. I have it set to what I want. I could set it to 3 just for fun. Why not do that? And we'll save the changes to that file and move on to the next step. Let me fix the size there. All right, so now that we have the file set up to run, we want to set a cron job so that regularly our account is generating all of the pages of our Joomla site. And by doing that, they will just be sitting there fresh and ready for whoever visits. Now, there's a few things we need to talk about for that cron job, and let's do that now. First of all, so I'm using cPanel, and in the top right corner, I can just type cron in a search, and then I'll see cron jobs. So it takes me right to the area instead of scrolling down and looking. Here are the cron jobs I have for this account, and you'll see here is what the cron job we set up last week. What you want to do is create a cron job that is running the file that we just edited, Recache. And so we'll create a new, we'll put in command here the file that we want to be run. But that's not enough. What we also need to do is we need to put in the code that's unique to your hosting environment that will run this file as a command. Now, if you look at the top, you'll see some examples here. Here's a general example, user local bin PHP, and a domain-specific example, user local bin EA PHP 56. Now, yours are going to vary, possibly, or maybe it's the same. You're going to have to experiment and work away and see how this thing works for you. Anyways, we will go. I'm going to copy this general example because this shows the path to wherever the script is. And I'm going to paste that at the beginning. And I'll put a space in between because that's important. So now we have this set up so that this script cron recache.php, this file is going to be run on the server with a command to run it. And now we just need to set up how often we're going to run it. Now here's a couple of things to consider when you are picking out how often you're going to run this. If you have a site that you don't change very often, you can, in JotCache, set the cache time to something super long in a number of minutes. Figure out how many minutes are in a week, for instance, and set that as the cache time. So then what happens is that someone will visit, if someone visits your site, the page gets cached and it will use that version of it for an entire week. In that case, you don't need to recache your site every hour because you're already caching all your pages for a whole week. Now, when your cached page for a week expires, then you want it to be recached using this job here, this cron job. Now, if you have your recache cron job set to weekly, it might be 6 days. You might be just a little bit off depending on how and when things were created when someone viewed that page. So you want to keep that in mind because there's no sense having too high a time for recache for the page because if it's too high a time, then you're not getting the benefit of it. So you want to probably experiment with the logic of this. Also, just as a note from last week, if you are using cron.php as was set up last week to empty out of the expired pages records in the tables for JotCache, run that one first because it's very quick, and then you can use the recache script afterwards because it churns away and runs for a while, and I think it'll be less load on your server. All right, so let's go back to and look at the computer here. All right, so I have right now that other cron job that empties expired things. It runs every 15, it runs a quarter after every hour, every day, every month, every weekday. I'm going to recache these pages. I want to do it, let's say, I'll just set it once per hour. And again, you probably have to think of the logic and what exactly you want to do on your site. Once per hour. And I'm going to do it right after the 15th. So I'm going quarter after. I'll do it at 17 minutes after. All right. Now, so let's go and we will click add that new cron job. And you'll see there it is. Everything is set. And I've also not put this little bit of code up here. See, if you put greater than and then /dev null and then space 2 greater than ampersand 1. If you put that at the end of a cron job, you won't get email notifications of when things have run, when the cron has run. But I want to get those right now just to see what is happening when that takes place. So we've saved that cron job. And so all that's left for us to do next is to go and I'll just give you a demonstration of how this works. In components, I'm in the back end of the basic Joomla site. In components and JotCache, we go in there, and here is a whole bunch of pages that are cached, and also a bunch of pages that have expired. I actually broke the script that will empty these expired pages because I wanted to have a fresh install to work on today. But if we go refresh, that's going to make them all disappear. And in fact, let's just go delete all. Now there's nothing cached on the page, which we will see. Now to simulate what the cron job will do, we can then do this. Here's a button right up here, recache. I'll click recache, and I can manually, right now for this manual recache, cache, I can say, oh, go to depth of 2 on the menu or in the categories. Crawling depth level, I'm not sure what the difference is between those two, but go ahead and pick 2. And then recache, there's some things, some options we could look at. Anyways, we have all pages there. So now I'm going to click start. And while that is caching, in fact, let's just open this up in a different page here. Go to the back end as well. We'll go to components and JotCache. You'll see now, let's see here, there should be pages showing up here if I did that right. Let's go Recache. Oh, I didn't click start at the top here, did I? Let's click start. I think I probably didn't do that. There you go. Recaching in progress. New recached 1 pages. Watch when we go over to the actual interface here for JotCache. When I refresh, and I'll close this bottom here. Now I have 6 pages cached. I did not have all 6 of those pages visited in that time that I was talking. Now let's refresh it again. 7 pages cached. So what is going to happen is the recaching process is happening in the background. I started it manually with the button, but in the background, all of my pages are being generated slowly but surely, and then they will be ready for somebody to go ahead and click on, and they'll show up very quickly. Watch, we can go to the home page, we can go to giveaways, pops up very fast, quick and fast. And all of those pages are going to be waiting there for anybody to serve. That's going to increase your page load speed. It could help your SEO as Google sees your pages load faster. And through the magic of the Cron Job, on the at 17 minutes after the hour, my site will have it will make sure that all of my pages have been recached. So that is pretty cool, and I've been doing that for more and more of my sites and my client site, because to have that page pre-cached and ready to pop up is really a huge advantage in speed. So that's what I wanted to show you today. Hey, listen, on Watch Me Work live stream this Wednesday, we're going to be setting up a landing page in Joomla to collect email addresses for a campaign. I was talking to someone that met through the Facebook forum on the Joomla forum on Facebook, and they wanted some tips, or they said that they were having some troubles trying to set that up. And I have a client that wants one of those set up, so that's what we're going to be doing on Watch Me Work Wednesday. For those of you that are not sticking around for the chat now, thank you for watching. Thank you for your support of this channel. Up over 1,300 subscribers, 1,310 subscribers, but who's counting? I am. Thank you for that. Please give this video a like if it was helpful for you. It will help others find it. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and ring that bell for notifications. So for those of you leaving now, thanks for watching. Enjoy your Joomla sites, and God bless. And hello to everyone who is staying around. Oh, wrong glasses. There we go. Anybody out there going to try this or use this on your site? It is pretty cool. Let's see what else pages are showing up here. Yeah, I've got 8 there. I think maybe by going in here and refreshing and fiddling around with this manual process, things don't always refresh properly. Also, I think what I did was, in that second time that I ran it, I did not pick 2 levels. Mary, Vinny, Tim, and yourself, you're guessing. Edza, good to see you, man. Thanks for tuning in today. Yeah, let's see if I refresh this page, I think I'll get more. Yeah, there's the 8. Yeah. Fiddle around with those levels and it will work. I don't know why it's only doing 8 there, although those might be the only ones doing on the front page there. So I think it's only doing 1 menu level. I do know that on my CyberSalt page that I get thousands of pages recached and sitting there and waiting. Anyways, whatever to gain speed, that is the nice thing of this little trick. Hey, the screen's gonna go black for a second while I update the chat information for this capture here. I don't know why it's not. So, BRB. Let's see if that catches the chat there. Yeah, it looks like it is now. Maybe it was before. And change this here. Okay, and I hope the stream is going okay today. It took me, I'm still trying to learn this new YouTube system that they have for live streaming. I had to start 3 times at 11 o'clock just to make sure everything was happening, get things rolling 3 times. Yeah, it's very, anyway, so this recache thing, for the super longest time, I wanted to figure this out and get things working, but I could not, it took me a while. But it is kind of a neat thing there. Fast loading pages are great. One thing I need to do just right now is right click. I need to go into and copy over the file that I changed last week for. I broke the cron file from last week, and I put that down here. In fact, let's just go into here. I'm just going to go and edit that. I'll copy that whole thing. I will close that. And let's go back into no secrets. No, what the JotCache cron main. Go into there and go edit. And I'll do I'm doing it the lazy way. Close that. And go up a level, and so basically last week's files that I had set up, I moved into a folder with the settings, because by reinstalling JotCache today I would have wiped out, and then copying the files over, I would have wiped out the changes anyways. So let's delete that, and everything should be working. Why don't I bring up an email? I just need to open this up in another window here, and I'll show you what the cron jobs look like. The output of them while they are running. And so, let's see, I have one here. Important. I wonder if that's one there. Yeah. So this email here, let's see here, put me in the bottom right hand side, I believe will do it. Make sure I see the right thing there. Yeah, so this email here is for my CyberSalt site. And I have it, I forget how often I have it running, but so 13 hours ago, there were 0 expired items in the cache storage deleted. And then 12 hours ago, there was 0. So obviously I have this running more often than I need to, but 9 hours ago, 2, and then 1, and just getting the update. Okay, and then we get into there's 6 expired items, 5. So as you'll see, it is basically very nicely and tidily keeping the expired items cache storage nice and clean, which was its purpose. I probably don't need to run it that often. I can change the load on my server a bit, although this isn't a big job. But it looks like if I ran this every 12 hours, I would really only still be just wiping out 6 or 7 or just a few. So everybody needs to just balance their stuff at their own rate. All right. So what's everybody working on today? What's new? How's your weekend? How was your long weekend, Easter long weekend? We had a very nice one. Had a really great service at church yesterday. It was really uplifting and encouraging. So that was good. All right, close some pages here. And close that. There we go. Now we got 11 pages cached there. More will happen when the cron happens. While we're here, why don't we check over to the Facebook page. Let me just put the chat on the right there. supposed to be on the right there. Facebook. And go to groups and extensions, the Joomla extensions. See if there's anything new there. Here we go. A 15-hour sale on the Easter Day, Labor Day 2019 sale. I wonder if Labor Day takes place somewhere else in Nguyen Ha V's country. Perhaps they are related or close. Let's see what he's got for sale there. Labor Day sale. Have we looked at this person's extensions before? Smart add-ons. Oh, there you go. Got that little swinging box there. Hey, did anybody notice the new thumbnail for today's stream? I've been planning for a while to change the thumbnails up and have some slightly different kind of thumbnails for each stream. I do already, but just try to clean them up and have a little bit cleaner look. So no hard hat, no tool. Well, I was in the picture, so there was one tool. What's this guy got happening here? Free extensions. Let's check them out. Share to unlock. So SJ Social Locker. Wow, now I am intrigued. View more info. It says Halloween is coming. Make your day more meaningful. We're glad to give you totally free gifts. SJ Social Locker. This plugin is perfect for boosting your website promotions, campaign freebies that effectively helps increase your website traffic by inspiring users to share your content. This free share to unlock Joomla plugin allows you to lock a part of content, coupon, link, text until users share your content to their social network or they follow your social channels. This plugin supports most popular social channels: Facebook, Twitter, Google, LinkedIn, YouTube. By the way, if Facebook and YouTube no longer allow you to reward someone with something for liking, it's outside of their terms of use. But you could probably still use the share it. Of course, Google Plus is dead, or you can invite people to tweet it or share it. So that's pretty cool. This is a neat idea. This content's locked. Please share it. This would be cool in some circumstances. Like, thank you for sharing our page. We'll give you a 10% discount or something. Although, of course, you're making people do stuff in order to give them something, so that might not necessarily be cool either. But let's head and check out this demo here. View demo. Let's see. Well, let's click demo and see if that will do it. They might just have demo search to here. No. This is a job list extension that they have here. Let's go back here and see if we can find a way to see that. Let's see. You might have to just install it to figure it out. Here's a newsletter pop-up. It looks like they have a newsletter component. That's interesting. That's a pretty major thing if you're going to do it for free. Let's have a look in there. Supports responsive layout, fully compatible with IE9, Firefox 2, Netscape, Safari, Opera, Chrome. So this has not been updated in a little while. Support multi-language, create email campaign. I'm just wondering if they have cron sending, because that is something that you sometimes have to pay for in some of the list groups at a higher level. Interesting. And now this was released on February 2016. Who knows what the latest version is? Oh, here we go. Last modified April 15th, 2019. Okay, so they're maintaining that. They also have smart add-ons for Shopify themes, so they're diversified. What else we got here? YouTube. Let's see if we can view. Here's the documentation for SJ YouTube. Okay. And this is, this is a way to show a playlist of YouTube videos. That's pretty good. That's a nice attractive layout as well. You just put in the code playlist ID, give it a title, the ID of your video list, which you're going to get from your URLs. And then you get this nice, no, that's a static page of it. Okay. Let's view a demo here. Hopefully that takes us to it. Oh, does not exist. All right, something's broken there in their demo. You notice that a lot on sites, demo sites, that sometimes they're broken. And I think the challenge is that with the demo sites, especially if an element of it is giving people the option to log in and try things, you need to set it up so that it gets flushed or rotated every now and then, or else you can end up with stuff that you just don't want, that hooligans just take advantage of being able to log on and do things. Or you actually have to break stuff so that they can't send out emails and take advantage of your demo in that way. And I think sometimes in the process of doing that, a lot of times demos end up getting broken. But that's definitely something to, that's a nice, cool layout for putting a playlist right onto a site there. Cool. What else we got happening here? SJ Pop-Up, SJ Weather, SJ Christmas, Facebook. What's this one here? SJ Facebook is a simple module which allows you to display activity feed like box, recommendations, and live stream. And let's go view demo, see if that one works. No, requested page can't be found. I think that maybe somebody's fallen behind on keeping some things up to date. But for those of us that are solopreneurs, remember entrepreneur rhymes with manure, by the way. For those of us that have a lot of stuff happening on our own, there's a lot of stuff to keep track of, and not surprisingly, sometimes we leave things broken and don't update them. That could be the case here, but obviously there's a lot of things happening. It's laid out nicely. Drop them a note later on, say that we were by. What else down here? SJ Pop-Up. SJ Top Bar. Boy, there's a lot of things in here to check out. Social media counter, Twitter slider. Products, Joom shopping, related news, a whole bunch of stuff. And some of them have been released in 2012. But, a couple of weeks ago we looked at how to find good Joomla extensions. So just apply all of that information in your experience to see whether these are things you want to go with or not. What do they have for commercial extensions? We've been looking at the free ones. Short code, mega menu, K2 news, an article slider, front page, a bunch of things there. I wonder what short code. Let's view what short code is. Top Joomla shortcode on JED, regular updates, fresh, clean UI. An amazing tool with fresh and clean UI layout that will help you easily add maps, forms, charts, buttons, gallery, and many more items to any pages without touching any code. 65 plus essential shortcodes built in. You're free to create nice and complex content to make your website be unique and easy to manage. Let's see the demo here. Short code. Accordion, animation, content, promotion box, flip box. Let's see the flip box. Oh, there you go. Okay, so you put in some code, and when someone mouses over, it flips over. Excellent, okay. Lorem Ipsum, or just doesn't flip. Oh, hinges. Well, that's pretty neat. So this probably, like, this looks a little bit perhaps like UI. What was it that would, oh, it just escaped to me. UIKit, is that what we're talking about? Here's the code here, YouTube, YT, flipbox, animation style, horizontal, width, and I guess you just put this in your content, and that's a pretty handy way for people to set that up. Let's check the code here. And the content, so interesting. You can change your color, put some things on there. It looks pretty pretty light there, at least in that sense. It's a cool one. What will we do? Points of interest. Let's check out this one. Points of interest example. I don't see. Oh, I see. It's these X's here. Or these pluses. If you click on them, it gives you information. Oh, okay. So that wasn't totally visible for what they did. Oh, what else? Let's try one more here. Progress bar. Why not? Progress bar. That's where you go for a drink when you want progress. Although, listen, I don't think there's a lot of progress happening in bars from the overall on average. Progress bar. Joomla, Magento, PrestaShop, WordPress. Get the code. So here's a way to display progress for something. Okay, and then you can put in a percent. You put in the percentage for the different things, and it will slide across an animation. That's cool. Well, that's pretty neat if you want to make a graph and just show some static information. I wonder, I'm guessing someone who knows a little bit of programming could actually display up-to-date information from something using a script or something in here. That looks pretty good. How much is that? Buy now. Let's see. Oh my goodness, $14.50. Personal. $14.50. That is pretty good. Plus, there's an Easter sale on right now. If you're looking for a quick way to pop some of those things in and that worked for you, that's pretty good. All right, let's see what else we got happen here. Commercial extensions. Let's go back and see another one. It's like shopping. Mega menu. Contact Ajax. Let's check this out. Contact Ajax. Oh, and this is a nice layout. Sometimes for contacting people, you have a little bit of a challenge getting a layout that you like on your contact pages. And there's some out here. Obviously, here's one. You can put in their map, their location, name, email, subject, message. Pick a date that you're leaving your message, and CAPTCHA. Now, the CAPTCHA is there. I wonder if you can use reCAPTCHA on that. That would be interesting to know. Let's check out more info. Because I think the day is here where you really need to have invisible reCAPTCHA. Although I know some of you have expressed that because of the privacy regulations in the EU that and Great Britain, that you have to put information showing that you're using Google stuff on there. Although Google has that little bar there, so if you really didn't want to be using Google stuff, you could use something like that. Documentation. Let's see. We'll go to the documentation. And no, that okay. So that took us to. No, it didn't take us to that. It takes us to. We have to sort our way down to the Joomla extensions here. So. Do a little bit to short code contact SJ contact. Yeah, we're kind of in a bit of a loop here because I'm going to go more info, and then I'm going to click on documentation. Oh, maybe there's just no documentation for this one. Maybe I should be less lazy and look down here. Compatible with all of those browsers. IE8, yeah, that hasn't been updated in a while. Although it was last modified March 28th, so that's the template attributes. Well, you just have to figure it out, eh? Here's version 1.3.2 released on September 2017, but may just still work fine. Can't see if it uses. Allowed to show CAPTCHA, custom, or reCAPTCHA. So you're going to at least get reCAPTCHA, maybe invisible reCAPTCHA. Of course, you should always, maybe pre-sales question, check that out. All right, enough advertising for him. But yeah, some cool stuff there. Let's see here. And this fellow we visit often, because he's often posting in here, AA Google Business Reviews. Oh, did we see that? Sorry, my when I said Google Business Reviews, my phone thought I'd said okay Google, and then it was see, there it goes again. It says, oh, what do you want? Did we see business reviews for this guy? Let's check that out. Demo. Oh, here we go. So it looks like something for having a circle and some stars and to display someone's feedback. And he's just showing that in a... Oh, and then what did that link to? See all reviews. Oh, see all reviews for this particular business, Pierpoint Mortgage. And to see all reviews, it actually went to the Google page for Pierpoint Mortgage. Well, now, hold on a second here. Tiffany Henderson, I really recommend Pierpoint Mortgage. Up here. Oh, this looks like it is pulling. This looks like it's pulling reviews off of a Google business page. Well, that's creative thinking. I really think that it'd be really great. I think Google reviews on Google pages are really good. They look good, and basically, yeah, you have to have your Google business page claimed and set up, because when people Google looking for business, your business page comes up before your web page in many cases, the way that Google is doing it, or at least there's a link to your web page, so it's important to have there. Well, let's check into this just a little bit more. I like this guy's got his stuff ready for Alpha 4. So, in mind, you need an API key from Google. Let's read the whole thing here. AA Google Business Reviews is a Joomla module which shows Google reviews for your business. Oh, okay. So I should have just read this. I hate reading. That's why I make videos. You need an API key from Google. You need place ID for your business address. Works with any template, cross-browser support, mobile adaptive, simple and friendly user interface. No, any issue, let them know. Install the module, do configuration, publish it, and it'll start working. The trick is probably getting the API, but that's he probably has instructions, or else you probably have to go and set up some kind of app in Google or something like that. But if you're doing this on a website, you probably have access to your client's account. So if they have a unique API to use it, then that's how you're going to get it. But I like that. That's pretty cool. Chuck, you need to publish content into your business page at least a month or so apart. Has made a big difference for your theater site. Okay. Chuck, so you're saying that you should publish a month or so apart, you should change the content on your business page, like the Google business page? Like be updating it regularly? Is that what you're saying? While you're doing that, I just realized that I did not create a Zoom call today. Anyone want to talk? There's the Zoom call for today. All right, so update your business page once a month, and that will really help. Okay. That's good advice, Chuck. I hadn't thought that. I thought, well, having it set up is pretty good, but it makes perfect sense that Google does like new content. So you could set up a reminder, I guess, in a calendar or in your phone or something to go in and make a change, update, add a picture, check your hours, add a service. Probably picture would be the easiest one to do. So good tip. Update your Google business page. Let me just write that down. Update Google business page. Hopefully I can remember what that is there. Also, I want to go back. Smart add-ons. Nice. All right. It spiders out the search engine. It works great for events or products. Yeah. Yeah, and with the competition that's always happening between Google and Facebook and everything like that, Google's going to be happy when you're interfacing with their stuff and using theirs. And products, that's good. Yeah, even services, and I guess what would work well with that, Chuck. Now that I'm thinking about it, if you don't have a lot of new things, you can still make special offers. So you could offer a discount for a particular month, and publish that, and that would be new content. So maybe for hosting, or a discount for, in your case, the theater, 5% off tickets, or maybe even announce that you have a contest and put that on that. That's great. Excellent suggestion. Oh, as your blogging platform too. Yeah, I guess you could. Yeah, I have to visit the pages and see that. Do you have anything set up, Chuck, for stats that show how traffic is coming through your Google page to your site? Or as an extension of your website blog, yeah. I mean, you could always just even post something and say, we've just updated, check out our site for the latest article or interviews with such and such an actor who's appearing in the play this month. Or do you know the history of the theater? And here's something you didn't know. Or anniversary, 75 years ago today was the big fire, or something like that. So, all right, Chuck says 1 sec. He's checking out his stats there. Okay, while he's doing that, let's scroll down and see. And that's the 15th. Okay, that was someone asking a question there. Today is the 22nd. Now, it takes 7 off of that. It takes us back to the 15th. So we'll look for new things here. Enhance your skill set with this Angular tutorial. I wonder what Angular is. Check that out. AngularJ's app. All right, so Angular. Angular, Google Angular, made with Angular. What is Angular? Nope. Maybe it's this. Oh, Angular is platform for building mobile and desktop web applications. One framework, mobile and desktop. Okay. Loved by millions. Unknown by millions as well. Chuck says, search Google for Oakland Center for the Arts. Let's do that. Google. Let's check out what Chuck is doing here. All right, so we're going to Google Oakland Center for the Arts. And there's your page there. Youngstown, Ohio. There's, you can click there to go to your website, oaklandcenter.info. Directions, saved. Got 3 Google reviews. And then, scrolling down, we see some of the reviews here. View all Google reviews. So it pops those up there. Oakland Arts, and here's some information description for more. And then Oakland Center for Arts on Google, Disney's Lion King Jr., and there's tickets for that 2 days ago. If I click on that, okay, brings to the pop-up there. Order online, which is a link that takes you right to the page. Excellent. Oh, this is great. This is a really good example of how to use Google Page for things. Oakland Center for the Arts, brunch with Easter Bunny. And a show. That's all over, but I can order online, and it takes me to the website. And, of course, I can't buy tickets for that because it's over. It'll pop up there. Nice pink, Eastery pastel color there. All right. Well, that's cool. I think that Google Business Pages is really a underused source probably by many people. Although you are using it in the top percentage, I would say there. The Lion King. Let's go learn more. And then there's the page for it. Very cool. Excellent. All right. Well, there's all the nothing new there on the Facebook page there. There's other tricks too that you're learning. Excellent. Well, you know where to share them as you learn them. All right. Anything else happening? Anything else people have for show and tell? You show, I'll tell. That actually doesn't sound very good, does it? Oh, what have I got happening on my I'll show you a little project I'm just working on yet. I have a friend in Uganda. He was a refugee. He actually had fled to Norway, so he's from a from a Democratic Republic of Congo and fled a long time. That's a real hot spot in the world for making refugees. Anyway, so but he realized he could do more for refugees, more for his people by going back to Africa than staying where he had refuge in Norway. Really neat guy. Anyway, so he has a ministry. I'm helping out with a web page, and he's slowly sending me information. I'm using my help desk system, which is working now, thanks to everybody who helped with those test messages. Anyways, he's sending me content, and I'm slowly laying it out. And don't have any images on there, but this is I think it's JD Paris from Asteroid. So you know I'm crushing on Asteroid. Really, it's clicking for me. One of the things I have to work on right now, and finally ended up contacting support, is when you mouse over this menu, you'll see the drop down happens way below. And the reason is that they have this all configured because I've made the logo bigger. I could put a smaller logo here. Oh, you know what? I may have just solved found a workaround for this. Just thinking about this. This logo is higher than they have this part of the template set for, so the drop downs appear at the bottom. And they're looking into changing this and how to fix this for me. So how to fix this on the template. But one of the neat things about Asteroid is that you can set a logo that appears at the top, and when you scroll up far enough, it disappears, and it will give you another logo that just occupies that's smaller. Still wouldn't solve my problem here, but anyways, this is a little page that I'm working on, and I have no pictures. It looks pretty boring right now, but once we throw in some pictures and some other things, it should smarten up and look nicely. The other one, Firewise Consulting, is a website I got some help from. Oh, Firewise, did not type that properly. Got some help from Joomla because I had to duplicate a template layout that was given. And so this is kind of cool. So as an example of how the logo will change when you scroll, you watch this here. As I scroll down to a certain point, it gets smaller and takes up less space at the top. But this was interesting to figure out. This way this image, this peekaboo window or I Spy window, I call it, just kind of drags across images. Anyways, it's and then the testimonials fades in. This is that JSlider 3. We looked at that, I don't know, it was about a month ago, and I think Mary uses it. It is an insane slider system. I really, really like it. In fact, this is a slide here, but there's only one slide, so there's no change to it. I should show you the crazy controls in that. Why don't I just do that right now? Although I probably should do some tutorials or a live stream on it because it is pretty neat. But anyways, let me show you what we found here, what I found. Let the hamster spin on everything here to get me in. So we'll go extensions and modules. Yeah, I'll show you the name of it right here. It's Smart Slider 3. So for instance, let's see, that's view type, Smart Slider 3. There's a couple here. So for instance, testimonials slider, I'll go into this module. So Smart Slider 3, even though I have 3 different modules for the 3 different sliders that I have in the site right now, all of them show up in every module instance. But what you do is, so you create a module instance and then you assign one of the sliders to it. So in this case, it's the testimonial slider. One little thing that's a little confusing here, it says number 3, but as you'll see, it's number 2 because number 1, it's 2 on the list, but 1 was deleted. So that's a little bit confusing. But once you figure that out, you can just go into the slider. And let me just... So it's Smart Slider. I think there's a free version. I think there's also a paid version. So here are the 6 slides that are in this slideshow. And you can go in, and so this is just a testimonial. So basically, this first slide has some text added. And you can, for instance, this text here, if I scroll up to the C, okay, here we go. So I select on that paragraph. Here's where you put your the text, and you can bold it, or you can make it a link. Up here, you can design it, so you can change your font and your size for that, and background color. All your options are right here. Then you can also add different kinds of movement. You can have it fade in, and then you can change the out to be something else. And then there's gear here, the position, and anyways, all kinds of crazy stuff. So you make your slides in here, and that's content. Here's canvas. I've only just scratched the top of this. But anyway, so that's the slide. You can preview things in the what it will look like on different devices, and then adjust accordingly. They've got a thing down here that shows timing for playing, and you can stretch out. I think this is actually how long the fade takes, or when it happens, or something. So anyways, like I said, there's lots here. Down the side, the heading layer. This is the text layer. Crazy things. Button layer, because you can actually you can put buttons on the slide so people can click. It's really skookum. Anyway, so I'm going to cancel because I don't want to make those changes. But then as you get down here, so here's your slides up here, but the actual slideshow itself, you can set it up here. You can create a module. Here's where the related modules are that are using this particular slideshow. If you want to go right to them, edit them. Here's the code if you want to put the slideshow in an article. PHP code if you're going to add it into source code. And then what else we got here? We got like general, the name of it. I mean, look at all these crazy options. The background image, you want it to fit. If you're going to pick a thumbnail for it, I mean, it's basically it's almost like a CMS inside of itself. Really cool. So the size, show on devices where you're going to hide, just a lot of a user interface that, especially for this client, because this client really wants to learn to work on their own site and make changes themselves. So I'm doing a lot of tutorials and training for them, and this is great because it avoids saying, oh, here, go into this little thing and put this code in and do this sneaky little thing, and then you can change it. It's just all buttons and all sorts of stuff. Autoplay, the interval, allow restart after finish, just loops, or the slide count. I don't know it's just layer animations, optimize, loading. If you're going to put in one of those spinny loaders while it's happening, play when visible, blah 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 blah. It's the slides, random the slides. Yeah. Okay, I just stopped going on and on about it. Other things, developer, scroll, clear both CSS, callbacks. Anyway, so then we get down to, let's go back here. You get down to these bottom options here. If you want arrows to the left and right, or do you want, a back arrow or a next slide arrow? Do you want to use these arrows? Do you want to show up and down? This one's using gray. So in this case, okay, you're using gray. What are you going to use for the previous arrow? All sorts of things. And then it's like, oh, that's too gray. Here, change the color here. Oh, where do you want the previous position? Do you want them up and above or below? And that's just arrows. Then you've got your bullets. Then you've got there's autoplay, controllers, and indicator, slide showing, text bar, first slide, blah, blah, blah. Thumbnails, shadows, full screen what your button will look like. Shows on hover, not HTML. Anyways, so yeah, that is that. So that's something that I've been enjoying learning and using, and probably I think is just going to be my go-to slider, not only but also, like I said before, even for just putting this image in here and just putting this text and having these hot linked buttons on here. That's just a single slide. It's really, really, really powerful. So that's something I'm working on for ongoing for my clients, for these clients. This is a little bit of a tricky section here because right now it is set up to do divs and columns, but when you go to the mobile view, the columns get a little bit, especially on the phone, get a little bit mixed up. So I need to find a better way to lay those out. But that's just some of my ongoing stuff that I'm doing right now. And I don't know if there's I'll just show you too the really neat tool here that I'm doing my thumbnails with now. I got this through AppSumo. It's called Relay That. And if I go to saved, now this one here I'm playing around with Watch Me Work live stream thumbnail to come up with, but if I go to here and double click on that, this is a really cool tool because once I have the thumbnail lined up the way I want, I can then change this with the same tools to other options. So if I want to use a vertical, let's see, it's ads here. If I want to make a leaderboard for my website using that matches up with this thumbnail, I click leaderboard, and then I can go and pick. And this is going to be a little bit goofy because of me playing around with it. For instance, it's going to show a, oh, this is interesting. It's build a landing page in Joomla. That's me. That's for me playing around. Maybe what I need it to do here is go to duplicate this. Wait for that spinning, and this is web based, so I'm waiting for their service to give me the copy here. And then I think what I want to do is double click on that. It's still going to let's see here, something's not quite working here because it's not showing me other options of this particular template because my picture's there. It's supposed to be it's showing me my last one I was working. Well, as an example, excuse me, if I'm doing a thumbnail for Watch Me Work live streams, and this is something that I like, and this is my final design, so this is, playing around with the plane for, actually this actually does not look too bad for maybe what I might be looking for. I can now go ahead and I can use and look at different views and come up with different things that I want. And so for instance, if I want an ad, let's see here, for what will I click here? If I want a square post for Facebook and Instagram, I can just pick other layouts. And once I have my information in there, it just shows me different layouts so that I can actually do consistent looking things. So that's why if I click mobile leaderboard 320 by 50, then I can take all that same information and I can have a graphic for that. It's just for consistent branding. app.relaythat.com. I don't know if they have any more memberships on AppSumo for it, but I've been using this to make really quick graphics for different things. For instance, let's go down here. Let's see, large leaderboard 970 by 90. And then I give a whole bunch of things that I can sort of work on. And of course you can go in here at any time and you can make changes to what is there, save them and download and have them. So that's another thing that I've been working on too, and this is working well for some of my projects. And like I said, I hope to have some very basic designs for different thumbnails for different series on the channel now. So this yellow will be Maintenance Monday, and also the other thing too is that it's a time saver for me, because doing the hard hat and the tool and the picture, and it takes a lot of steps. Pro tip for what I'm doing now is that I took yesterday this particular picture that I have. This particular picture that I have for this thumbnail, I did like 7 or 8 or 9 poses for pictures, so I can now, when I do a new thumbnail in a couple months' time on a different stream, I can just use that picture and have different things and save time. Chuck says, why not Canva for business? I grabbed Relay That because through AppSumo it was a one-time price. I did look at Canva a while ago, a couple of years ago, I think, and Canva for work, Canva.com here. Okay, let's go here. I think it was the cost at the time, because I could make my own, and then making my own took a lot of time, and which is the case is like if you have money, you can pay for something that'll help you do things faster sometimes, but if you don't have money, you got to do it yourself, and sometimes that's slower. I did get a nice template together and I had it down to rhythm, but I wanted something even more quickly. So Canva for work. So yes, I know that Canva is another popular one. Canva for business. What is the cost for Canva? Let's see. Features. They've got a lot of stuff there too. I don't see what the price is. Canva. Canva for work is a $12.95 US per month. Oh, you got it for free for beta testing. Good deal. Yeah, that's nice. And I like this. What I'm doing with Relay That. That's a great match for me. I suppose if I wanted to do a little bit more, for what Canva offers over Relay That, I probably a monthly amount would not be that bad. Once I feel I got my money out of Relay That, but then I would probably wait till I had a client that was paying me for the features that I couldn't supply through Relay That. So for instance, if someone wanted me to manage business cards for them and design business cards and something, if I had a client doing that, then I would certainly roll that into the cost of managing it for them. So $12.95 US, which remember up here in Canuck land, we always multiply by 1.33 on average. So $17 a month. Not too bad, but you can $17 a month yourself to death in this business as well. But good deal. That's great that you got it for free for testing the beta. That's excellent. All right, well, I think that's all I've got. If there's not anything else or more anything else you guys want to raise, I'll see you guys and gal on Wednesday when we take a look at how to make a landing page in Joomla. And I'm going to use ACY mailing 6. I'm going to try to do that for using the form. I got some clients that want me to do some updating of their ACY mailing, and I think they want to go to pro version, and I just don't want to move them to, I don't want to teach them how to do it in ACY mailing 5 and then have 6 come out. So I gotta bite the bullet and figure that out. So that will be on Wednesday, and same time, same bat channel, and we will check that out and watch me work live stream. So everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in today, and enjoy faster loading pages when you pre-cache with Recache. And I will see you again on Wednesday. Enjoy your Joomla sites, and God bless.